Clapping chicks, slapping pussies, pulling hoes. I know you want that, but your right hand tells me you're having a hard time getting it. Well, worry no more, my young Padawan, cause you're about to learn the infinite wisdom of getting some sexy schmexy time. With a woman. With her consent. Trust me, I'm a highly qualified professional, and in my long-lasting career I managed to get in bed with 2 different people. 3 if we include my creepy uncle. Now, to catch a fish you need a bait, and a good bait is something that the fish wants. So what do women want? According to ladies, the only thing they want is happiness and fulfillment. Sounds easy, which means it's incorrect. Remember, women are not as simple and predictable as men. It's never easy with them. Many men claim that women only want money, but despite the rapid rise in population of gold-digging whores, that's not completely accurate either. Believe me, if women only wanted money, the world would make much more sense. The reality is far more menacing. Generally speaking, women want men to provide, protect, entertain, create, solve, understand, communicate, and while you're doing all that shit, you should also remind her how independent, stunning, brave, and beautiful she is.
Fuck this.
Now, before you start pondering about your sexual orientation, I have to mention that you don't really have to do all that to get laid. You just have to give her the perception that you're capable of doing that. Hence, one of the most important traits of a true macho, confidence. A lot of people confuse confidence with arrogance, but they're fundamentally different. Acting like a cocky, self-righteous twat is a clear sign of insecurity, and women can smell that shit from a mile away. True confidence, above all, means being okay with your shortcomings and feeling comfortable in your own skin. So don't try to overcorrect your flaws and drop the fake tough guy act when talking to girls. There's nothing more pathetic than a person who desperately tries to prove everyone how awesome he is. Another attribute required for getting your pipe polished is being attractive. I know it sounds easy coming from a handsome hunk like me, but I assure you, no matter how ugly you are, there's always a good way to hide it. I mean, women have been doing it for centuries. Being well dressed, well groomed, getting a good haircut will add you extra attractiveness points even if your face in the mirror scares the shit out of you every morning. While looks are not the most important factor for getting girls, they definitely make the job infinitely easier. If you're a good looking guy, all you need to do to get laid is to not fuck up. On the other hand, if you're not particularly attractive, you gotta implement other tools to level up your game. For example, you can use your tongue. No, not like that. It's too early. Probably the most important part of dealing with women is the actual communication itself. This is where the decisive battle takes place. Here you can make a genuinely uninterested woman thirst for you, as well as disappoint someone who was previously into you. Communication is a skill, and just like with any other skill, the more you practice, the better you get. So learn how to talk to people. Male, female, anything in between, doesn't matter. You have to be interesting enough to be able to maintain a productive conversation about any topic. When talking to women, be respectful, but don't put her on a pedestal. Try to make her laugh, but don't try too hard. Let her talk, don't interrupt, be a good listener even if what she's saying is boring as fuck. Remember, no matter how big her tits are or how much you want to squeeze them, talk to her like you would talk to any other human being. I know you have a raging boner in your pants and her booty is so big you can see it from the front, but stay focused. Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. Don't fuck this up. At the initial stage, try to avoid sexual jokes and innuendos. If you do those things too early, you might come off as weird and creepy. Jokes with women are like a double-edged sword. Under correct circumstances, they can do wonders, but if you go too far, then game over. Tell jokes like a stand-up comedian in the age of cancel culture. Try to entertain without offending. Start with a couple of non-controversial puns, then carefully test the limits. If she happens to have a good sense of humor, then match her energy and mood. It's worth noting that just because she's laughing at your jokes, it doesn't automatically make you a comedic genius. Best case scenario, she might like you. Worst case, she's just being polite. Whatever it is, one thing is for sure. If she agreed to go out with you, chances are she finds you attractive enough as a potential mating partner. So your job out there is not giving her any reasons to regret that. But no matter how hard you try, there are gonna be some fuck-ups, some awkward dates that will make you cringe your ass off. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's hers. It might just be a simple character mismatch. So don't dwell on your failures, don't let them disappoint you, make your conclusions and quickly move on. Now that we're done with the theory, let's get to practice. Getting laid requires you to find a woman with similar intentions, and doing that is the hardest thing about it. Start by searching your apartment. Check the bedroom, the wardrobe, try to find someone in the basement, look under the rug. Shit, look at those bugs, even they're getting laid. God damn it. Don't lose hope yet. Open your browser. Stop, I know what you're thinking. Close the Pornhub. Go to a dating site, create a profile, pick your prettiest picture, write about yourself only the good stuff and lies. Remember, everyone online is lying. I mean, people are even lying to themselves, which means you yourself must also lie yourself and themselves. Fuck, I'm confused. When texting girls, consider the fact that there are probably hundreds of dudes in her messages, so the standard "Hi, how how are you, can I touch your left boob isn't gonna cut. You gotta come up with something more creative. Now there are 4 ways to get laid. First one, relationship. Second, random schmecks. Third, schmecks for cash. Fourth, scam schmecks. People think relationship is the best way to get laid for free on a regular basis, and though it's clearly the healthiest option overall, it's also by far the most expensive and difficult. Sustaining a relationship requires a lot of time, efforts, and resources. Plus, if by some chance you end up with the wrong partner, she'll be fucking your brain more often than you'll be fucking her. So if you're planning to enter a relationship just for getting laid, think again. Random sex sounds good in theory. You both get to have fun without any drama or responsibilities. But for that you gotta have an active social life, decent appearance, charisma, and good communication skills. Unfortunately, there's a huge risk of getting cursed with some unpleasant disease, so make sure to protect your Dwayne Johnson with one of these rubber shields, although sometimes even the shield can't protect you. Next up we have sex for cash. Pretty practical option. You get what you paid for, nothing more, nothing less. But there are some downsides. First of all, prostitution is illegal in most countries, so you might end up having problems with the law enforcement officers. If you go for a cheaper option in a not very safe area, it is possible to lose all your belongings and get fucked by the lady you were supposed to fuck. And besides, while pleasant, sex for money doesn't really bring the same emotional joy and satisfaction that other methods do. So if you're someone who has enough money but doesn't have the time, skills, or the nerves to hustle, this is a convenient way to relieve your stress and move on. Fourth and final option is the scam sex. It's mostly used in social media, where the woman gets promised serious relationship, future marriage, kids, dogs, and a house on the beach. Men who practice this method often use certain key phrases like "you're not like everyone else," "you're different," "you're special," and if it doesn't work, they might bring in a fatality move called "I love you." After getting what he wants, the man either ghosts her or delivers an Oscar-worthy performance like "I'm confused, this was a mistake, I don't deserve you," and some other crap like that. It's a very dishonest method, and personally I don't condone it, but we're living in a fucked up world, so you might as well know about it. Plus, as long as some women practice marrying a rich guy for his money option, there are always gonna be some men who will practice this deceitful method to get laid. Think of it as the male version of karma for gold diggers. Now let's imagine you scored the gold. You got lucky, she's into you, it's gonna happen. You're about to conquer that pussy, so make sure to prepare for this historic event. Take a shower, shave everything from armpits to balls, get wine, maybe candles for the mood, and of course some romantic music. You can't just straight up jump into her vagina. I mean, technically you could, but you shouldn't. To make sure that both you and your partner are having fun, you gotta warm her up with some talking and foreplay. And here's the catch: the longer men do foreplay, shorter the intercourse. The longer women do foreplay, better the intercourse. So try to control yourself. Think about anything other than sex. Every time you think about it, the act becomes 5 minutes shorter, and all you fucking have is 3 minutes, so you're pretty much fucked. Clothes. Get rid of them. Usually clothes are your ally that protect your self-esteem, but now they're interfering with your internal affairs, so take them off. Don't forget to take off her clothes too, or you'll just look stupid. Dealing with her bra is gonna be a tough one. Fucking thing is impossible to take off. For decades, scientists tried to solve this mystery and came to the conclusion that it's easier to fuck men. You just gotta gently pull both sides of the strap together and carefully unsnap it, but if it takes too long, just ask her to take off the fucking thing by herself. Next up we have this guy. Though the coordinates of this asshole have been leaked online, finding it isn't gonna be an easy task, but I'm sure you can handle it. Good luck. Now here's the deal. According to Google, the average length of an intercourse is about 5 minutes, which is not much. To make it longer, you have to not think about sex while having sex. Try solving math problems in your head. If you suck at math, then imagine something gross like dirty socks, zombies, or your grandma naked. Drinking can substantially lengthen your performance, but if you're not careful with it, you might end up embarrassing yourself, so tread lightly. If you play your cards right, you'll get yourself an awesome ride that probably lasts about 10 minutes. Congratulations, you did it. I'm proud of you. In time, you'll realize that sex was never supposed to be your main priority. It's more like a pleasant bonus. The true happiness hides within the woman's heart, not between her legs. So you should focus on finding the right person and building a sustainable relationship with someone who will make you happy not just in bedroom, but also in bathroom, kitchen, living room, and even in the car. But that's a story for another time.